Regular school board meeting. We welcome and appreciate your presence at this meeting. We respectfully request that you turn off cellular phones and refrain from clapping, cheering, or making audible comments. We invite you to make formal comment during our designated times on either agenda or non-agenda items, or both if you wish. Please feel free to fill out a comment card, and you can find them at either entryways, and you can submit that. You can hold it up or submit it at the back table so that we can make sure to get your comment card. Each person making a comment will receive approximately 3 minutes to make their comment. We'll start with the roll, Kathy.
Just have to find the right page. Ms. Wade,
Present.
Ms. Davis? Here. Mr. Eatman?
Present.
Ms. Lewis here. Ms. Melton? Here. Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Ross? Ms. Shaki?
Here.
President Williams?
Present. Mr. Ross is excused.
He's excused, okay.
Okay, we have approval of our agenda. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? Wonderful, we'll move on to celebrations.
All right, good evening, everyone. Happy day after Labor Day. And as a reminder, this is one of our long stretches. Thanksgiving is the next break. So I hope that everybody enjoyed their longer weekend. I am so excited to introduce Dr. Brandy Lovelady Mitchell, who is going to introduce all of our new leaders that have joined us since summer and into the fall. We have a group of new leaders who are bringing new energy, ideas, and excitement to Grand Rapids Public Schools. And so I will ask Dr. Lovelady Mitchell to come forward to talk about our brand new district leaders and building leaders.
Good evening, President Williams and distinguished trustees. Dr. Roby, I do have the honor of introducing our new leaders, and I am going to ask them to stand up when they hear me say something close to their name. I'm going to do the best I can, and before I say that, I'll say if COVID has not taught us anything, it has taught us that humans are our most precious capital. So we are so excited that these individuals are here with us. And so, without further ado, we will ask them to stand up. We will give them the roses and clap, and then we will continue. And I think there's just under 20. So Casey Waring, let the people see you.
Great.
Christine Holland. Here?
You can continue to stand.
Thank you.
We'll make you wait.
There we go. Sorry. Erica Dams. Erica Patton. Evan Linnart. Close, close. Jane Claus. Jaquise Green. Joseph Metz. Kelly Aponte. Carrie Cooper. Luke Steyer. Malika Brown. Marquise Buggs. Megan Yonke. Dr. Malunge Kalumbula, sorry. Nanette Herzberger. Spencer Caverly. And Vanessa Allen. I know that you're exhausted from all the clapping, but you deserve your roses. We thank you so much for joining our team, and we're so proud of you being here as leaders. So thank you so much. And one more round of applause, please. Thank you, Dr. Roby.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, yes. And leadership is the lifeblood of any organization. And one of the things that I always share with our new leaders as they are entering our organization, that they are responsible from floor to ceiling, door to parking lot, and beyond for what their school experience has been. And so we are excited to have you all join in on our leadership team and just look forward to the work that you will do across our district and at your individual stations. So again, welcome. And I know some of our leaders have taken on new roles, but we wanted to give that opportunity to acknowledge them. The second part of our celebrations.
Dr. Roby, I see, Tim Maben at the back, so
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that, we didn't forget, I feel like we kind of maybe talked about you at an earlier time, but we want to get it on the record, so.
Dr. Tim Maben, will you stand up? Thank you for that. That was an oversight on our part. We are excited to have Dr. Maben as the principal of Ottawa Hills High School. And what I will also share with our broader community, many of our leaders, they have been in other roles within our organization, either in our district, and some of them have been students. And so that to me speaks to commitment when you have been a student within our system and now you are choosing to lead within our system. That is a remarkable kind of full circle. And so we applaud you for that. I know that Dr. Maben, Miss Allen, and others, and once I start calling out names, I get myself in trouble because I'm probably forgetting someone. But just to say that we do appreciate that you are giving back full circle to this community, and we are excited for the best of 2023-24. So thank you again. The other part of our presentation and celebrations are the first day of school highlights. And what you will see, some of the same folks that we just have been formally introduced to in action, as well as the work of our comms team with Evan kind of leading that narrative around our story. And so I will have Mr. Leon Hendricks kind of do a brief introduction of what you're about to see, and you'll see how the first couple of days of school have gone.
Good afternoon. Good evening, rather. Trying to make sure we have audio here, so we're going to chance it and see if it will work.
Hello, GRPS.
Wow.
Hello, GRPS families. Today is the day. We are so excited to welcome our scholars back to school. It's such a special time for us. Our team is back after many of them have had a much needed rest over the summer, and there's a fresh sense of optimism and excitement in the air. I could feel the excitement as scholars walked through the school doors this morning. For some, it's reuniting with friends and teachers that they've missed over the summer, and for others, it's a warm welcome into a brand new environment, an opportunity to make new connections and lasting friendships. In either case, we want to make sure that each and every scholar feels a sense of belonging when they're at our schools. Our back to school theme this year is Welcome Home. That's the feeling I want each and every scholar and team member to feel, not just on the first day, but every single day when they walk into our schools. There will be rigorous academic and high expectations inside of our classrooms, but we also know that education is more than reading, writing, and mathematics. It's about learning those skills that allow us to work together seamlessly, those skills that make us comfortable working shoulder to shoulder with those who are not like us, those skills that show us how to appreciate the unique perspective each of us brings to the table and our capacity to do great things when we work together. We've got an exciting school year ahead. I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together for the 23-24 school year. To our scholars, staff, and GRPS families, welcome back to school and welcome home.
There you have it. I think the video speaks for itself.
Okay, wonderful. This is our first opportunity for public comment, including our union rep. Is our union rep here today? Did you want to make comment? I don't see him, so. All right, on the phone. Okay. Yeah, we're just waiting for the public comment too. Nothing? All righty. Oh, it's your public comment for agenda item, because you need to, the comment cards are in the entryway. You can grab those, and then there will be a second opportunity to speak as well.
You have to fill out a card.
But yes, absolutely, you need to fill out a comment card. Okay, so we will move along and we'll go to our reports. And the first we have our secretary's report, which is none, my apologies. And then a committee chair report for Ad Hoc Facilities Committee. Ms. Shockey.
I also see finance on there.
You can do both.
Do both, okay. So I'll start with finance. The Finance Committee met on August 28th, and we started with a presentation on the approved state budget and the school aid fund. And so definitely the healthiest school aid budget that we've seen, certainly that Ms. Cribbs has seen, she said, in her career. Some highlights include a 5% increase in per pupil funding. So we are receiving now $458 more in this upcoming budget than previously. There are still many parts of the school aid budget that are being worked out by the Michigan Department of Education. So we see many lump sums, many strong investments in areas that really impact our scholars at GRPS, like at-risk, bilingual, mental health, transportation, and early literacy. But we're still waiting on MDE to determine the allocation of those funds, so we're not yet quite sure how that will impact our scholars here at GRPS. We also learned that the Great Start Readiness Program, which offers tuition-free education for our 4-year-olds, our young scholars, received an increase in per pupil funding, and they've also raised the eligibility to 300% of the poverty level. Again, a really great thing for our young scholars here at GRPS. We saw additional investments in mental health, and the state has also reestablished a rainy day fund to the tune of $450 million. What we learned from Ms. Cribbs and what our school business officers are learning is that the funding we've received over the last couple of years, it's been historic, but it will not last forever. And so the state is planning to be able to manage, the needs of the school districts here in Michigan. We also have 2 donations that we're moving forward as a recommendation for approval: furniture from Frederick Meyer Gardens, and also weight equipment from Planet Fitness for the Ottawa Hills High School weight room for our very deserving scholars. Lastly, we received an update from Mr. Smart on a few of our bond projects, including Innovation Central. The wall reconstruction is scheduled to begin later this month and should be completed by the end of this calendar year. And they're moving into, goodness, I forget the phase 6? Phase 6? Yes, phase 6 of Innovation Central. We are getting there, and that building will be done before we know it. And then Grand Rapids Montessori, of course, we welcomed our students later than expected on August 28th, knowing that there's still a few items left outstanding in the library and some painting. That all of that work's going to happen when our scholars are out of school and scheduled to be completed by the end of September. Any questions about finance? Okay, I'll move forward to ad hoc facilities. So we had one agenda item at the Ad Hoc Facilities Committee meeting, and that was the demolition of the Kensington building. We received 2 qualified bids for that project, and the committee is recommending for approval the selection of the lowest, most qualified bidder, who's a local contractor. That'll move forward in our action items this evening. That bidder also had an alternative, a voluntary alternative, which we really like, which is to not restore the basketball court, but to actually build a new one and give that asset back to the neighborhood. So we're really excited about what that will do for the neighborhood around Kensington. The facilities department also showed us a landscaping plan and is recommending native wildflowers on the back half of the property, again, for the neighborhood to enjoy. So next steps are to begin neighborhood engagement around the plan for demolition and what they can expect as we restore that land. We're going to go greater than 500 feet. We learned from our neighborhood and our community that that was not broad enough for communication. We're going to extend that to be sure that we communicate with the neighborhood at large. We're also going to plan a community event. So any alumni or neighborhood individuals or community members that would like to visit the Kensington building before demolition and remember it and celebrate, what they experienced as they went to school there, there'll be an opportunity to come and see the building. So if approved tonight, demolition will begin in late October or early November, so there's time to begin the landscape restoration. And that's my report.
Wonderful. Any questions with regards to the ad hoc or finance? All righty. Superintendent's report.
All right, so we just briefly did an overview of the opening of schools, and we are day 6, I think it is. We did have, this was an interesting school year from the, or the beginning of a school year from the standpoint of, we've had a couple stutter stops with weather related things, and as you know, we had the last Friday, due to the tornado, that had some impact on schools, and as Ms. Shockey alluded to with our GR Montessori, that was a slower beginning to our school year, but fortunately, all schools are in session. What I would like to do is to invite our Executive Director of Facilities and Operations and our Executive Director of Safety, Security, and Chief of Staff down to provide a construction update. One of the things that we are committed to is to make sure that this community has routine construction updates related to what's going on across the district versus just individual programs. And so Mr. Smart and Mr. Larry Johnson, if you would like to come forward, I'd appreciate that. And you know what, let me apologize right now because I have somebody ahead of you. I didn't look at my own agenda, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I can have, this is Peace Education Week, and we have special guests that are here, so I apologize, ladies. I'm going to invite you forward, as well as Mr. Jonathan Harper and Jennifer Brock, to talk about what peace education is, and then we'll have our facilities and operations report, so I apologize. So I apologize. I have it on my computer one way and in print in another way.
Well, good evening, President Williams and Superintendent Dr. Roby and distinguished board members. I'm here tonight to introduce Kathy Siegenthaler and Kim McKeon, and they are here from the Institute of Global Education, who will be providing you with information on this year's theme for the Peace Education Week, taking place September 18th through the 22nd. So.
Okay, and we've done this every year, I think, for a number of years, and I'm usually here. I'm also working at Burton Elementary, so you might see me with a couple hats on. But this year, it's the United Nations International Day of Peace that we do on September 21st. And this year, I'm going to just read the last part of it. Therefore, be a resolve that the role of the schools is to help young people understand the philosophies, goals, and values of other people, as well as the need to build workable structures for the peaceful resolution of disputes between nations and among people of different racial, ethnic, and religious backgrounds. The Grand Rapids Board of Education recognizes September 21, 2023 as the International Day of Peace, and the year's theme this year is Actions for Peace, Ambition for Global Goals that are emphasizing number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the week of education will be, peace education is scheduled for September 18th through 22nd that week. And so there'll be some information sent out to all the schools about that. And thank you.
Thank you.
For allowing us to speak.
Thank you, and I want to say that we've had a relationship for 32 years now.
Give her the mic.
So the microphone can
not
pick it up.
just
We've
for
had a
us.
relationship for 32 years now with GPRS, and we have really enjoyed that relationship with you. And we enjoy the fact that you're teaching your children in the schools peace education. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'll have Mr. Johnson and Mr. Smart come down for a construction update.
Good evening, President Williams, Dr. Roby, other distinguished board trustees. It has indeed been some exciting times and years as we have gone through this construction projects that we've had through our last bond. Alex Smart, our Executive Director of Facilities and Operations, will walk us through some of the highlights of those projects. As you know, it's been some ups and some downs, but at the end of the day, our buildings are really shaping up to be very pleasing, not only to the eye, but more energy conservative, and just a better opportunity for our students to have an environment where they can learn safe and secure. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Alex, and he's going to walk us through over 30 projects that we've been indulged in over the last couple years. Then some of them have come to conclusion, while others in the process of getting to the end. Alex?
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, President Williams, Dr. Roby, distinguished board members. We have been busy. We have been very, very busy this past couple years. I want to present to you 30 projects that are equivalent to roughly an investment of over $56 million that we have made to improve all the schools for scholars. Some of these projects, as you can see on the board, include parking lot resurfacing, roof replacements, HVAC projects, secure entrances, and I left a fun one for the very end, which is playgrounds. Go ahead and move forward on that one. Let's start with the parking lots. We were able to complete 2 projects, the Westwood Middle School and Union High School West parking lot. Westwood Middle School, we completed the front area of the parking lot and the service entrance of the building. As you were able to see on that slide, both projects have a combined cost of a little bit over $460,000. We were also able to do the design work for 6 more schools. Unfortunately, we didn't have the budget, the funds to be able to do all of them, but we're good and ready. Once the funds become available, we'll be able to send those out for bids. And those 6 schools include Shamrock Hills, Riverside, 6B, North Park, Ridgemore, and Aberdeen. So we are also looking into adding to the list a few more sites, primarily the ones that have been affected by the ongoing major construction projects. If you visit our sites that are under construction, you'll see that the parking lot is getting beat up. So we will be adding those to the list for future work. Any questions on the parking lot before I move on? Okay. Roof projects. It's always good to have a roof that keeps the elements out. So it has been an ongoing battle for us sometimes with some of the aging roofs that we have. But we were able to complete 10 roofs. 8 of them were new, rebuilt roofs, and 2 of them were major repairs. The repair roofs were East Leonard and Southeast Career Pathway. They had significant repairs, and the remaining 8 were. And now you can move forward, show a few roofs there, Leon. Ken O'Shea, North Park, Campus Elementary, the Administration Building, the 4-H Building, G.R. Ford, Ken Hills, and Palmer Elementary. We did commit a little bit over $1.2 million for these projects. And just to give you a little bit of background, how we select these partial roofs. So we break the roofs are broken by sections, and typically there's warranties that are connected to each section, and so our facilities team will take a look at what is the maintenance history on some of these areas. We'll look at the areas that are serious problems, if we have had water in the roof, and obviously the warranty. And that's how we narrow it down to the list that we presented here today. Next slide. All right, now this is the biggie. HVAC projects. We had 5 major HVAC projects within the district. We did commit, as you can see there, a little bit over $52 million just for this important aspect of our buildings, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. The bulk of that work took place with Innovation Central, where we were able to replace the existing system, just like we're doing also at Congress Elementary School, J.R. Montessori, Kent Hills, and Wellerwood. The intent behind these projects, or the driving force behind these projects, is to improve the quality of the air quality in our buildings. That is something that we're very serious about. And hold on that one, Leon. That's a cue to talk about something else that we're able to achieve. Some of these projects, all these projects actually at the end is going to be providing us air condition on these buildings. On a hot day like today, I think that that's going to be very, very welcome. It has improved and brought to code, and in some cases exceed code requirements for ventilation and outside air, fresh air coming into the buildings. So I asked Leon to stop right here. As you can see, you don't see HVAC right there in those pictures. But we took the opportunity that these major projects presented us to be able to improve other areas within the building. We were able to improve, in some cases, the flooring, replace floor, have a new carpet in many classrooms. We're able to do lighting. You can go to the next one, I think, Leon. Oh, no, go back. There we go. Improve lighting and ceilings, and we're able to also do some painting in some areas. So we wanted to do more than just the HVAC. When it comes to the Central High School, you can see the new windows, and we're super excited about that. We were able to go back and try to recreate historical windows that we had in that building. As you can see, we're in the process, especially on the east side of the building, of replacing those windows. We did not have enough in our budget to replace the inside, what we would call the courtyard section, but that's on our list, and as soon as we can, we're going to go back and refinish those. We also did some tuck pointing, masonry restoration throughout the building. Again, not enough money for the work that we have to do there, but we're doing what we can, and we're prioritizing. Any questions on so far? All right. So next one will be secure entrances. We started late on this one, but we saw the opportunity at 2 locations for us to improve the safety and security of our buildings. And with the Central, Innovation Central High School, the Montessori Middle High School area, we saw the opportunity to renovate the existing office and create a secure entrance. In fact, if you go 2 slides forward, there we go. That is the new secure entrance at Innovation Central. On the picture on the right, you see a door. That's how people will come in from the vestibule, the building entrance, and have this transaction counter for the staff to be able to vet the visitor and talk to the students. The other opportunity that we had was East Leonard. And this one was simple. We basically just had to build 2 walls, and of course, we didn't want to just create this like a dungeon, so we added some windows and windows in the doors, and created a new access point to the office directly from the vestibule. So that will give us those 2 secured entrances on this round. Last but not least, we have the fun projects, which is playgrounds. We did commit a little over $2 million, and we were able to work on 11 playground projects. The largest one was Southwest Elementary, which was a complete replacement of what was there. Then we also were able to do the pre-K playground also at Southwest. So that one, it was an upgrade, replace some old equipment that we had there with some new equipment. We were also, as you can see on the list, we're able to do North Park. And you can move forward, start seeing some of the fun things. We were able to do work at North Park, Burton, Palmer, Sibley, Mulek, Dickinson, Campus, GR Montessori, and Stocking. On the previous, the first big construction picture that Leon showed, if you go back a little bit, you see the Southwest. The left picture is once we removed everything that we were removing, and we're able to excavate down to create the proper surfaces. And then on the right, you see the new playground that we have there. We've heard some great feedback from kids. In fact, there was one of the neighborhood kids that would stand by the fence telling the contractor what they hadn't finished yet. So we may have a construction superintendent in the future right there. Go ahead and move forward, Leon, please. Again, I didn't put pictures of every single building, but we have Campus Elementary and the GR Montessori upgraded playgrounds right there. And Southwest, that's the before on the left and the after on the right. We were able to recoat the asphalt area. We got new soccer goals. The nets are supposed to come this week, so that is not reflected there. And then some new soccer goals. So the staff there were very, very happy to see that we extended the fence with a net, an additional 12 feet. They had to race out of the street to pick up the balls quite often, so they're very glad about that. One of the things that we were looking at for opportunities was adaptive and accessible play equipment. On the left right there, that's Dickinson. We focus on that project to only do adaptive and barrier-free accessible, and we were able to have a few items, two major equipment. This one here is like a glider, it glides, and the other one is a merry-go-round designed for wheelchair access. I just want to give you the heads up that the wood chips that you see on that one they're temporary. They are considered to be barrier-free accessible, the fiber that we use. However, in this case, we decided to go with a different product, which is like a carpet that will be even easier for or students with mobility impairments to be able to access. We're waiting for that to come. As soon as we get it here, we'll schedule the work and get it done. Any questions on playgrounds?
When do you anticipate that carpet arriving?
I do not know yet. We recently received a part that was missing, and the contractor is telling us that it should be at least 2 weeks out, but they did not confirm with certainty when the carpet will be here. So we will schedule that work, of course, around school hours, weekends, and to make sure that it's not a disruption for the school.
I have a question. Did our scholars have any input on how their playground was designed or what type of items that will be on the playground?
I'm glad you asked. Yes, they did. In all the sites, we asked the administrators to form a committee, and I believe all of them included students, and we presented them with different design options that will be within our budget, and their committees, including the students, pick which ones they wanted, and then later on they came back and picked the colors that they wanted. That was a fun little process. It was somewhat new for us. Usually we get architects to design things, but this time we decided to go the other way, and it proved to be very effective. Okay. One more thing, what's still going. I just wanted to let you know that we still have work going on. Congress, like Ms. Shaki mentioned, we do have work still going on the second floor, and the construction is expected to end in September. We should be occupying sometime in October. Montessori library and gym, same schedule. Kent Hills, all the work is done except we're waiting for the chiller. Once the chiller arrives, we'll do all the connections and we'll have air conditioning in the whole building. Innovation Central, we have the 4th floor and the 3rd floor, the east side of the 3rd floor, and obviously the famous auditorium north wall. And you'll see the next slide. I just show a few pictures showing the progress that is going on. And I was very pleased to see the Rockford team did not extend the completion of this project, the deadline. I expect that it was going to be extended. But they were able to bring in extra people and to meet our deadline of the end of this year. So we're looking forward to having that portion of the work completed at the same time. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Another
Any other questions?
Yeah, the security interest at Grand Rapids Montessori, is that a part of a plan, or did I miss that in the presentation?
You want to answer that, Chief?
Yeah, it was a project that we added on to the current construction project that was going. So they now have a separate secured entryway, and we're just waiting for I think electronic lock to come in, a latch to come in before we can tie up the loose ends on that project.
Okay, that's a success. We've heard a lot about, a lot of parents coming in saying they want that, so.
Not fully operational yet. We hope it
But,
to be in the next
all
couple
right,
weeks, but it's
soon.
there. The
That's
construction
good
is
to
done.
know. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
All righty.
And Dr. Roby?
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you can see, there's been a lot of work. Oh, wow. Yeah, you all relish in those applauses because they don't happen often. Related to our work, related to construction, is also our facilities master plan, as our community knows that we are in the midst of looking at a full comprehensive plan around what this means for our district over the next 20 to 25 years. And you're seeing and hearing some of the things that are in place and in works around the operational pieces. And what I'd like to do is invite Mr. Leon Hendricks and Mr. Luke Steyer to kind of provide an update related to some of the other finer points around our facilities master plan and some of those next steps as we are committed to going out to our broader community to provide updates over the next couple of months and beyond.
All right. Good evening, Dr. Roby, President Williams, distinguished members of the board. The first thing we'll talk about is an update on where we are with the bond informational campaign. As you know, this, at least in recent history, will be the first time that we are going for a bond, and we are the only thing on the ballot. So that means we have all of the responsibility of even letting people know that there's an election taking place. They're not going to be there for other things where they will vote for us as a secondary part of what they're doing in the ballot box. So we have to do some really strong communications in terms of letting people know that this is on the ballot. We will be the only thing on the ballot. So we will talk about that, and then we'll update some of the work we're doing around the facilities master plan and communication. We've heard a strong call from you all, as well as the rest of our community, a desire to not only know just what the projects are that are taking place, but really updates and details around where those projects stand, what specific work is being done when. So we have some exciting efforts planned to make sure folks know about that. So we will turn things over to our Reimagine project manager, Luke Steyer, to first talk about our communication efforts around the bond.
Good evening, President Williams, Superintendent Roby, and distinguished trustees. We are 63 days away from Election Day, and as our communication happens with our community, last week we sent out mailers to all likely voters as well as parents and caregivers throughout the city, and that included a breakdown of how money would be spent, as well as information on voter registration, absentee ballots, and how you vote in person. We're going to follow that up both this month and next month with door-to-door campaigns as we go inform our neighbors about Election Day and what is on the ballot. That will happen in September. We'll do it right around the time when absentee ballots are mailed out, and we'll do it again in late October, just ahead of Election Day. And these are purely informational to allow, to make sure that the community knows that this vote is happening.
And along those lines, certainly they'll have opportunities to access us as we make one-on-one contact with folks at their door. But we also wanted to make sure we provided some town hall type, in-person opportunities for folks to gather and be able to ask questions of Dr. Roby. Hopefully some of you will be in attendance. So we're in the process of making some of those in-person opportunities available. We are planning an in-person informational bond meeting in late September with the idea there of getting in front of the folks who might be planning to vote absentee, making sure they have everything they need to know to make an informed decision about the bond. And then we plan on doing something in late October, the week before the general election on November 7th. We're thinking something along the lines of a family appreciation informational event where we'd have a meal and an opportunity for folks to interact with all of us. So stay tuned for firmed up details there, but those are two of the in-person opportunities we will have in late this month and late October. Yes. So this is the mailer that went out that hopefully some of you, hopefully all of you, but definitely some of you.
You got three.
You got 3 copies, all right.
I didn't get one.
You didn't?
I didn't, so I'll have to check the mail today.
Well, maybe we sent yours to Ms. Melton. So you should see something like that, that in the mailbox explaining, what this no tax increase or 0 tax rate increase bond proposal is all about.
All right, we'll move on to the Reimagine GRPS dashboard, which I'm really excited to talk to you about. This is all about transparency from our district. We want to be able to track our progress on goals from the Reimagine GRPS with Us plan. So this is just our preliminary look that we've been working with the comms team on of what this dashboard could look like, and we're starting to populate it right now. It's not live yet, but this is just an example of what it will look like on our website when it goes live here in a couple of weeks as we get all of the verbiage fine-tuned. But these are, you can see under objectives, those are the objectives that are laid out in the Reimagine GRPS with Us booklet. These are things we have told our community that we are going to do. And this dashboard that we're creating is to hold ourselves accountable, to show we are working on the things that we said we were going to do, and people will be able to go and look at it. For instance, the first one there, I'll highlight specifically, which is begin regular video updates to keep the GRPS community informed. That is something we promised, and we've achieved already this month. We started doing regular updates with Dr. Roby, video vlogs. And so on the dashboard, you'll see that it's 100%, and there's a link right there where you can click, and it will take you to the vlog page where you can watch all of those videos. And Leon, if you advance there, that is the vlog page right there. You can see the 4 vlogs we have done so far over the last several weeks. And those vlogs are just to keep everyone informed. Keep our scholars informed, our staff. They get emailed out to staff on Fridays every other week, and then they get posted on this website here. Just kind of, for instance, our most recent video on Friday talked about everybody being back in class, especially including what had happened at Montessori. Also talked about the importance of all of the HVAC construction happening throughout the district, and had a short recap of the GRPS alumni football game. So Dr. Roby's kind of wrapping all those up and keeping everyone informed about what is happening within the district.
The other big focus that we have been working with our team on is the issue around the food in our buildings and what we're serving our young people, and finding some best practices and some new ways to gather feedback from our young people about what they enjoy and what they don't. We really want to have some measurable indicators, because what we're finding is that some things seem to really go well, and the same food item might not go so well at a different building. So we're trying to really find a way to harness that feedback, and Luke has been working with some vendors to develop a system for that.
Yeah, we hope to have, we're looking at some potential to get some kiosks that we could put in some of our schools, especially our middle and high schools, where students could provide feedback that would be specific to more than just how was your meal, but specific to like a new food item that's on the menu, and ask those targeted questions so that we can get that instant feedback and take that back to our food service team and see what improvements we can make to change that experience for our scholars. And another example, we're looking at another task that will be one of the next ones up is talking about air filtration. We know that about half of our buildings last year took advantage of a state program that provides free air filtration devices to schools. And we promised in the Reimagine GRPS plan that we would get that to 100%. So we're going to make that happen here this fall. I've been met with the school nurse team today, and they're going to start leading that effort to make sure that we can get to 100% in our buildings.
And lastly, just about those active projects, particularly the projects that are happening within schools. We will be starting active project blogs where we will update at least every couple of weeks with what's been done at the school, showing pictures of what's happened and what's forecasting what's to come over the next few weeks. So we'll have a page dedicated to each project. Those will be shared out to the families that attend the school in question. It'll be accessible to anyone, but those folks can click and always see an update as to where the project stands at their child's school and get an idea of what they can expect to see happening in and around the building. So those are expected to go live next week. So stay tuned for that. And I think that's all we have, unless you all have questions.
I do have a couple questions. So first of all, thanks for this great update. Something we've been asking for, so this is great, and I appreciate the effort that went into sharing what's coming up with, thank you, what's coming up with the communications department. I remember us, don't quote me on the time frame, a few months ago, we talked about the ability, especially when I'm thinking about this bond proposal that's coming up, with the ability for the greater community to interact with us, for those who specifically do not have kids with the district, but still are supporters of the district. How are they going to be informed? Is there a newsletter that you can still sign up? I know currently still you can only get newsletters if you have a child here, and if you don't, how are we planning on to keep those individuals who don't have kids but are invested in the progress of the district in a positive way? How are we keeping them informed?
So one of the big ways is the mailer. That went out to all of our families, but also went out to likely voters throughout the city. So the mailers is one way we're doing that. Social media is another, and we'll be doing some informational advertising in other ways. We're exploring billboards, commercials, radio commercials, and of course, earned media to be able to talk with local reporters about what this bond is and what it means for our school district. So
I know there was a time that you were, playground is coming to brain, so toying with the idea of like a Friends of Grand Rapids Public Schools newsletter type situation. Is that still in the works, or?
So, I mean, we do, like the We Are GR, we're using that publication, and we do our e-news each week that goes to the broader community as well.
Okay.
So those are a couple of ways. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to be, and of course, the folks who, are working outside of the district on campaigning for this have all sorts of ways they'll be using to reach out to the general public.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All righty. Anything else, Dr. Roby?
That concludes my reports for this evening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Right. We have several action items that we need to move forward. The first we have up is a peace education resolution. Is there any questions with regards to that? Is there a motion on the floor with regards to the peace education resolution?
Motion.
Support? Please, Ms. Wade. Please call the roll.
Ms. Wade?
Ms. Wade?
Yes. I feel like I ain't been here in a long time. Aye.
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. Reitman?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis, yes. Ms. Melton? Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Ross is excused. Ms. Shotkey?
Yes.
President Williams?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have our purchasing agenda. Any questions with regards to the purchasing agenda? All righty, is there a motion on the floor to approve the purchasing agenda?
So moved?
Support.
Please call a roll. That was Ms. Davis.
That was and Melton, right?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. Eatman?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis, yes. Ms. Melton? Yes. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Ross is excused. Ms. Shotkey?
Yes.
President Williams?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And next, we have the purchasing agenda addendum regarding Kensington building demolition. Any questions or discussions with regards to that? Is there a motion?
Support. Davis, and was it?
Jordan was, and then, yeah.
All right. Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Eatman?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis, yes. Ms. Melton? Yes. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Ross is excused. Ms. Shotkey?
Yes.
President Williams?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And then we have the, to certify delegates for the Michigan Association of School Board Delegate Assembly. And that is coinciding with the annual leadership conference. Do you have more to share, Kathy?
Well, I would just like people to know that this has been one of my jobs since I got on the board, and I really enjoy it. I think Julie said that there can be more than one, and I know at different times I've been there with Jose and John, so I know that we can have more. Where is Julie? Do you know how many we can have? We can have 4. So if there are other people who would like to join us, it's going to take place in Lansing.
Says Thursday, November 9.
What's that?
Thursday, November 9
Thank
is
you.
what it says. You're welcome.
All righty. Colleagues, are any of you interested in being a delegate for the Michigan Association of School Boards?
I'm about to tell you right now, I'm looking at this
Please
calendar.
consult your schedules really quickly if you can.
One thing that's really nice too is that all those CBA classes are available, and so you can really get a lot of those in over the weekend because they offer just about everything you could imagine, so you
Williams.
might want to think about that.
All right, Mr. Eatman is volunteering. It's just one day? Kathy?
No, the delegate assembly is one evening, but the rest of the classes and all that kind of stuff, that's more than that. I mean, it's the whole weekend.
Okay.
Right. Well, if we can consult our schedule, but if we at this time can approve up to 4 delegates to attend, and if you are able to, again, reach out to Julie to confirm. So is there a motion to approve up to 4 delegates for the Michigan Association of School Boards Assembly?
So moved.
Support.
Well,
Jose said it
That was a
first.
cool.
I got Jose.
All
I
right.
could hear her. Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Eatman?
yes.
Ms. Melton? Yes. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Ross is excused. Ms. Shotkey?
Yes.
President Williams?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. And then next we have our consent agenda grouping is, before we go there, is if there are any other people who would like to make public comment, this is going to be your last opportunity to get those comment cards that are in our entryway before we go right into that. Is there a motion for the consent agenda grouping? Ms. Davis, Mr. Eatman?
All right, Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. Eatman?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis, yes. Skip Ms. Melton, did I?
No.
Ms. Melton? Yes. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Ross is excused. Ms. Shotkey?
Yes.
President Williams?
Yes. All
Okay,
right.
motion carries.
And then Next, we have some discussion items, so I'll let the public know that we are going to be restarting our community meetings again this fall. So September 18th, we will be at Westwood Middle School in their cafeteria. And then on October 16th, we will have our board meeting at City High School auditorium. So again, September 18th and October 16th, we will have our board meetings in the community. Please share that information, and we look forward to having a robust attendance. Additionally, I will announce and remind the colleagues that on September 19th, we have our board retreat at 8:30 with Dr. Campbell.
At Parents University.
Yep, at the GRPS University. And those are my announcements, and then we'll go into our public comment. And this is for our non-agenda items only. We are going to share some information about it, and then we're going to call forward Wendy Winston, who is going to be on behalf of the GREA, D. Jones, and William Braylock. If you will all come down to the table. And then we have a Barry Cole, I think that's what that is, Yolanda Mitchell, and Asia Kendall. If you would take the first row, you'll be called up next. Go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Lewis.
Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. You will need to state your full name before providing your comment. We will then start the timer at the beginning of your public comment time and provide you with a 1-minute notice by flagging the red paper I have here somewhere. Is it- That one. And you will need to complete your comment time upon being notified that 3 minutes have passed. Board members do not respond to public comment. Concerns will be brought to the attention of the appropriate staff. We value your input and thank you for sharing with us.
Okay. Wendy?
Hello, my name is Wendy Winston, and I am actually addressing the board on behalf of the Grand Rapids Education Association and their members today. We have a conflicting meeting, so our president is at the meeting right now. And I just wanted to make sure.
There are no timers set.
One moment.
There are no timers set, so I
she's
better
trying
do
to
that. I'm sorry, Wendy, I didn't really mean to do that to you, but.
I don't have a lot to say, so I'm sure that I'll be under the limit. But thank you, Board President Williams and Superintendent Roby, for hearing the public comments. And I just want to make sure that the board is aware, and Superintendent Roby, of classroom temperatures today. It was not just a one building issue or one classroom issue. I have 4 reports from Innovation Central where classrooms were over 90 degrees. The highest one I have is 93 at Innovation Central. North Park had 101 degrees. Alger had 90 degrees. Ridgemore Park Montessori had 85 degrees. And I have 2 other classrooms where I couldn't verify which buildings they were in at 94 and 83 degrees. So students and staff were in those conditions all day. Fans were provided, but we know that blowing hot air around doesn't help a lot, and it also makes it difficult to hear. A lot of schools were MAP testing today, NWEA, so that just adds to the hardship. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware, and that's the end of my public comment.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
How you doing, everybody? My name is D. Jones. I prefer D. Jones. Do not call me DeAndre. Call me D. Jones, please. Thank you. But I'd like to talk to you guys about some work that I've done. So this as, I think it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I did an esports competition at the National Guard base. I'm a pretty gritty person, and I really care about our veterans because it's a lot of people that go through a lot of trauma and a lot of things. And I got to do an esports competition at the National Guard base because the Department of Defense is the largest polluter for carbons in the whole entire country, and the whole United States. They're the largest polluter. So I was able to do an esports competition at the National Guard base and educate the hood and underserved community on climate change, and it was pretty cool. And then that work led me to connect with the congresswoman, and I went to her office and connected with her. And I didn't know that they actually have a competition where kids can actually develop apps or video games to educate Congress and congressional leadership in the federal government on social issues. And so, I just came from Chicago. I connected with a couple of you guys, but I didn't get to speak to the board. I went to Chicago and I went to this event called Esports Next, and I was able to connect with the biggest gaming companies in the world, Activision, Blizzard, Riot Games, and Epic Games, which make Fortnite. And I was able to connect with the head of education for Fortnite. So was able to connect a lot of the school district with the Epic Games and the head of Fortnite, and they have something called the Fortnite Creator, which kids can actually develop games within Fortnite to educate the community on social issues. This is a tool that we can use. They also have the Unreal 5 engine where you can develop games, and they have something called the Unreal 5 Fortnite Creator, which the Fortnite was created on a gaming engine called the Unreal 5 engine. And so they actually you can use the game Fortnite itself to develop games within the game and educate kids on different things, and kids can use the game to educate people on different things. And then they have the Unreal Creator where you can actually do it. And so they have a huge platform for sustainability, and their vision aligns with the United Nations to be able to educate kids, whether it's equity, healthcare, whatever it is. And so I got this tool to our school district, and I hope that the school district actually use it, because we can really advance and transform education. We can be the societal standard. I pay $800 to be able to network and go to this event, and I didn't get these resources to this community for nothing. And I know how powerful and how the stories and the happiness and the genuine happiness that you will hear from your educators, from your parents, from people all around here, and we can set the educational standard in the second worst city for economic development. And so I ask you guys that please don't take what I've given you lightly, because I've spent my time, my cash, to be able to go to network and get the best of the best stuff that you can get on this planet if you actually look to be able to provide that opportunity to these kids. Thank you.
Braylock.
How you doing? My name is Will. All right. My name is Will Braylock. Thank you guys for having me. I want to speak on behalf of some safety and security with the schools with some of the incidents that happened at Ottawa Hills last week. I think it was that Tuesday and that Thursday, back to back. I did reach out to Mr. Larry about the situation. He agreed to meet with me. He met with me and a couple of fathers who were concerned in the neighborhood to kind of kick around some ideas of what we can do to immediately impact or try to prevent some of the violence that was happening. And one of the key things was talking about community and school integration, how that bridge has been sometime burnt or been clogged. Not so much destroyed. So some of the things that we did come up with that I wanted to share with the board, that I'm sure that he shared with you guys, but so that community can know that we do take this very highly for our youth. So one of the things was coming up with a community health day for Ottawa Hills High School. What that community health day would do is come in and we talk about things such as anti-bullying, self-esteem, you name it. And kind of, I know you guys heard of the African American Male Conference that happens downtown. So kind of like that, around Robin, where we will bring in community leaders to come in and facilitate these classes where these youth are the whole day. Everybody has to go. They'll get a card that they go to each one of them. And after they get done, there will be a debriefing for them to come in to actually share their experience in that class. The reason why we want to do this is because we can't force them to talk about their issues. We can't force them to talk about the root issue, because it's not the behavior that's going on. Time is deeper than the behavior. But if we can expose them to the help that's out there, maybe they can learn by some of the other youth who are sitting inside of the room, who are expressing their feelings, who have breakthroughs. So what we want to do is get a committee together or advisory board together to develop this, where we're going to have alumni, current students, some of the faculty, and hopefully some of the board to come on to help plan this.
1 minute.
1 minute. All right. The next thing that I wanted to talk about also is agreeing on parent involvement inside of the schools. So having it where parents can come inside of the schools and volunteer, but they can come and volunteer, and they can have an assignment while they volunteer. So they're not just there to walk around and see what's going on, but they'll have a card that'll say these things are what you're looking for. When you get done with that assignment, you will email whatever specific email box you guys have to say what was good, what was bad, and what their overall experience were. The last thing we want to do is get them at these sporting events. Want to get them at these sports events, put them in some t-shirts that say supportive parents on there so that the kids can see them in the crowd and see that someone there is watching them at all times, and if anything goes wrong, they know that there's somebody there that can help them. It's a lot more that we talked about that you guys will be hearing about, but I did want to share that part. And the last thing I wanted to do was say congratulations for the way that it was handled at Ottawa Hills. We've seen some other things that wasn't handled the best way that they could be handled, so kudos to the security staff there. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Barry, I think I said Cole. I'm still not sure if it's Cole or Kane. Not sure. Yolanda Mitchell, Asia Kendall, if you'll come to the table, and then Alexander Reed, if you would come to the front row. You'll be up next.
Well, thank you. Good evening. President Williams, Dr. Roby, members, trustees of the board, and particular members of the audience, good evening. My name is Barry Kane, K-A-N-E, and I am not a current resident of GRPS Public Schools. I'm not an alumni, but I am a lifelong student. I'm a Grand Rapids resident. I moved here back to Grand Rapids a year ago. And I'm here tonight to introduce the board to a new organization, a new nonprofit we're bringing to Grand Rapids. It's called Grand River Makerspace. It is a nonprofit organization. If you've heard the term makerspace, you have hands? Well, it's a new term. The old term used to be industrial arts, and we're an industrial arts complex on steroids. We're here to offer culture, interaction, technology, innovation, community space, somewhere in the central part of Grand Rapids. We haven't identified a location yet. We're a new organization, so we're still looking for board members of diversity for our organization. We're trying to identify areas, neighborhoods of need that could sustain and benefit from these types of organizations. We offer tools. It's like a gym membership, but with tools. So if you need to repair a window sash at your house, you can, and you don't have the tools at your possession, you can come to our facility and we can assist you in repairing that piece of your house so that you'll have a nice weatherproof structure. And I'm here tonight to introduce our organization to the board because I'm also connected with another makerspace in another state. I've been there for 12 years. And we partner with the schools. We offer non-traditional students access to education. We're a stepping stone to get into workforce development. And we'd like to partner our school, our system, with your system. As I understand, arts and industrial arts and a lot of those curriculums are disappearing from the schools. They just don't have budgets. And I think we can fill in a spot there. So www.grandrivermakerspace.org. I can't make it any longer. You can go there and get all the information you need, and I'll stay after if anybody has questions. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. This one works really well.
My name is Asia. I came here with concerns for special education. I do have a son who attends Campus Elementary. I have been going back and forth with the faculty at the school and here at the administrative building for him to receive transportation. Everyone that I have spoke to has gave me the runaround, haven't given me any answers as to why he cannot receive busing with an active IEP. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention to get some answers, because at this point he's going to be missing school because he can't get back and forth. I also have 2 small children at home, so I can't walk him to and from school. I have been told, because we stay 0.94 miles away from the school and we're not over that mile radius, that he cannot get a bus even with his IEP. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention to get answers at this point, because I don't want my son to miss out on school. He is 7 years old. He's in the 2nd grade. He's autistic, and he needs his education. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yolanda Mitchell, and I am also coming in concerns of the special education piece. I'm a graduate of Grand Rapids Public Schools. My children attended and graduated from Grand Rapids Public School. Now I am advocating as a grandparent in Grand Rapids Public Schools. And I also have a daughter who's 25 who has autism, who's completed her entire time with Grand Rapids Public Schools. And I'm concerned in terms of the communication that was given to my daughter in terms of the busing. The communication failed her in a sense that she's new with a new autistic son in the Grand Rapids Public School District. He was in Godwin District before, kind of talked her into, hey, they have some good services. My daughter attended for 25 years. And for her to be new and bring in an autistic son within the Grand Rapids Public Schools, this is week three, and there's no bus. She has not received any formal communication from anyone. She's tried to work with Godwin to get everything situated, and the communication was not there. So I was a little concerned because I'm a lifelong advocate for special needs. Again, I have a daughter who attends Mayfield. So I do advocate for children and then work in parent support groups of individuals who have children with autism or any special needs. So for that communication to fail and no one was able to get on the line, that's concerning to me as not only a parent, a community member, because the next parent that comes into the school district, they're gonna feel left out, as with just not because he's my grandson and this is my daughter, but I don't want any children or parents to feel left out or feel like their children does not have that sense of belonging in community. I stand with Grand Rapids Public, lifelong. Again, I graduated college here and everything, so I do stand in support of it, but I'm just a little bit concerned about the failed communication that she received being a new parent with a child with autism. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And Mr. Reed, if you can come to the table.
Hi, I'm Alex Reed. I have a kindergartner and a 2nd grader at Grand Rapids Montessori. I'd like to echo what Wendy said earlier about temperatures in the school, and hearing from other parents at pickup times and stuff. I know a lot of the kids were way more tired than would normally be because of the heat, and it's frustrating, especially because all the construction updates to get the HVAC system in, and I know that's ongoing, and they'll be finishing it. We've heard maybe October or November timeframe, but I don't know exactly when that is. And then in relation to that, with the construction project at Grand Rapids Montessori, we appreciate it, that it's happening and everything, the improvements that'll be there, but parts of it obviously did not go well, or there were delays, which is frustrating. And I'm curious, I would hope that there will be some sort of report or such of what went well with the project and what didn't go well, and how things do better, or how to do better in the future. I mean, we can be frustrated all we want with it. It's not going to change where we currently are. My day job, I'm an engineer, and the unpleasant part of projects when you're done with them is figuring out what went well and what didn't, and how you avoid making the same mistakes again in the future. So I would appreciate some sort of report or some sort of situation or assessment of, hey, this is what went well, this is what didn't go well, this is how we fix the problem so we can do better. So, and I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent comments.
All right, good evening, everyone. Just very quickly, I did for the two ladies prior to the gentleman speaking have a connection for you after, did they leave? Oh, okay, sorry. Connections for you that they'll reach out to you after our board meeting is over. Also, with respect to kind of communications overall, one of the things that we are learning is communication is always that thing that you constantly, you don't ever fully master, but you look to see what information has gone well and how do we make improvements. One of the things that we've talked about specifically around our construction project and our FMP and others is having a dashboard, which is that quick kind of update for folks, similar to what we did during the pandemic, where we provided some updates, with a dashboard. Those who wanted to read more detailed information, we had that, but the people who wanted kind of the quick and dirty, making sure that they had that quickly. So continue to look for that information. Just very quickly to remind everyone, our scholars will be back next board meeting, the October board meeting. We are in the process of selecting our superintendent advisory council, and then we'll have 2 representatives, which I always love because to get a young person's perspective of the programs and different things that we have, it's nice to hear how it lands for them. Also a reminder that our Smart Art winners will be announced on Sunday, September 17th. If you recall, earlier this spring, we had several art presentations within our gallery here, and those winners will be announced at Studio Park on September 17th. We'll make sure that our board gets an invitation to that. It's really an exciting time to see our young people, the work that they produce, and then eventually winners are also placed on an advertisement that's seen throughout downtown Grand Rapids, which I think is pretty cool. So that concludes my announcements for this evening.
Okay, wonderful. And board comments. I'll start with Ms. Mo.
I'm looking forward to some updates on nutritional services. I know in February we talked a lot about like salad bars and some of those fresh, high quality options that would be coming up. I was hoping that this fall we'd see those in place, but I don't see them. So I'm hoping to get some updates about nutritional services really soon, as well as busing. So now that we've been
That was part of the
3 weeks
consent
into
agenda.
this sort of renewed effort to do busing better, how is that going? And just some reports on that. I don't know if the gentleman who's going to be here at our meetings is here, but so I'm just kind of looking forward to that at some soon date. Yeah, otherwise I'm really excited. Even just I live so close to a school, loving seeing the kids each morning. It's really changed my daily routine from the summer where I just don't see them. So it's been a really nice start to school from a neighborhood's perspective.
Wonderful. Thank you. Ms. Wade.
Thank you for all of the public comments. And I really love the principal videos that I've been seeing on my social. I thought that was really cool, just getting to know the new principals in a good way to introduce them to our community, not just our schools.
Thank you. Ms. Shockey.
No comment this evening.
Ms. Davis.
I just want to say thank you to all the staff in our schools, admin, new admin, teachers, and all the support staff. Had a lot of information from the schools just showing the warm welcome that everybody gave to our kiddos, and just want to thank you for that. Our scholars are super excited to be back, and part of the reason for that is you, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez.
Just thank you everyone for your comments. Staff, parents, we appreciate you all. We couldn't do this without you. And a special thanks to Mr. Smart and his team, because I don't think a lot of us think about accessibility a lot. And to have even playground equipment that is, wheelchair accessible, it means so much to students that often don't get the chance to play with their peers because of a lack of accessibility. So I appreciate that. And I'm grateful for this resolution that we passed on Hispanic Heritage Month, seeing as almost half of our student population is Hispanic. I think that's very important. I'm Hispanic. I'm Jose Rodriguez. I don't know if y'all heard my name, but yeah, so I'm Mexican American, right? So I love that this is something that we can proclaim. This is something that we can show our students that we support their culture, their heritage, where they come from, what their families do, outside of school. And I'm hoping that I'm going to try to visit some schools during that month to see like some of the lessons that they're doing for Hispanic Heritage Month, and I just appreciate that.
Mr. Eatman?
Yes, echoing what my fellow trustee Rodriguez just stated, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm super excited that we do have representation regarding that and a resolution to pass for that. So super excited that we all pass that forward. On top of that, I just want to thank the staff that showed up today. Welcome to the family, right? When you say welcome home, that means you have some family that you're coming to, whether it's wanted or not. So therefore, welcome. I appreciate you all showing up here and continue to be active with us, please. And also, I wanted to point out a couple things, which was the in-service of the youth. I think that is extremely important that what you are proposing in the team and Larry Johnson for helping to assist with that. I love it for multiple reasons, but most importantly, the fact that it changes the narrative of active parents, especially at that school where often it gets told otherwise. And so I think that's really important to just highlight that aspect of how involved that surrounding community wants to be a part of the resolutions to what they're seeing the current youth is going to, and encourage other parents or allies alike to be able to do the same. Other than that, I am exhausted and happy to be here, but that's all I have. So thank you all for coming out, seriously.
No comment? Okay, she didn't even let me ask. Okay, well, I would like to say thank you to everyone who came out to share a comment with us. We appreciate your time. We understand that after a long day, to come and sit with us is not necessarily ideal, but we appreciate it. And additionally, I would like to congratulate all the new staff or staff changing roles that are with us, and particularly all the alumni. I appreciate you that you come home. That has been just a point for me to be able to make sure that our alumni can come and work with our students. So I appreciate seeing that and hearing about that. I want to encourage my colleagues that as we go forward with the bond, to sign up for some time to knock doors with the staff. It's going to be all hands on deck. So I ask that if you can, please avail your schedules. And then lastly, I want to say congratulations to all those Creston Polar Bear alumni for the tug of war win at the Classic, and all that joined along with us to make it momentous and awesome. So Creston Polar Bears, we still reign. So I want to put that on the record. And I have nothing else. This meeting is adjourned. That was cute.
Okay, let's see. That's what I don't worry. It's especially, I mean, it's
With guests from all